Alright, in Games Fest 2025, we were given this game, Chronicles Medieval. I don't know if y'all remember this, but Games Fest 2025 brought us some pretty good games. One of them, which is Arc Raiders, which is just killing it right now. I haven't tried that one yet, but this one was the gym for me. I've been a huge fan of medieval-themed games. I mean, you think of Chivalry, Bannerlord, Kingdom Come series, Half Sword, Medieval Dynasty, Belgrade. I mean, you name it, I'm a sucker for these medieval-themed games. And especially for this one, because I'm going to be comparing this to Bannerlord a lot of the time, mainly because it kind of has that same subgenre of kind of RTS story-driven. But this one looked a lot more story-driven, and it kind of wanted to take the realistic standpoint when it comes to those sort of games. And of course we had Mr. Tom Hardy voicing this, which is just death. I don't know, this is cool. So for this video, I wanted to go over the released content that has been provided in the Discord as well as the Steam store page. We're going to be going over a few different videos, we're going to be going over their Q&A section, and I just wanted to cover everything up till now. Because as far as I know, early access should be right around the corner sometime next year. Don't quote me on that. I am just a casual. I'm not within this team or anything like that. Yeah, early access 2026, and as far as I know, that hasn't changed yet, so it's a perfect time to go over everything, especially since this is something I'm really interested in. All right, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to be going over the released images, videos of the scene, armor, weapons, you name it. And then we're also going to be going over the Q&A section that they have provided. And they've answered numerous questions throughout the last few months. And yeah, I think it would be a good idea for me to just kind of refresh myself on what this is going to be, as well as for you guys who are interested in this game, kind of having a spot to get caught up. And all this information has been provided by the Discord. It's been provided by the Steam page. Both will be linked down below. I'd highly recommend, following the game on Steam and going into the Discord. God, these images look fucking cool, man. Looks so cool. Yeah, I highly recommend. I'm getting distracted. I highly recommend going to the Discord. They're pretty active in there. There's a pretty good community of guys who are just talking about the game, expressing things they want to see in the game, what their anticipations are. It's a great little community. Let's just get into this. I'm freaking excited. Let's go. All right, so from this point, we're going to be going over the armor, weapons, things like that in sort of a slideshow fashion. All right, stay with me. We're taking you back to high school. You got some PowerPoints. Okay, so we have videos, photos, all kinds of random stuff. And then towards the end, they have a Q&A, and we're going to be going over some of the common questions they've answered. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and look at the armor. Okay, so we have some armor progression. So kind of visualizing, tier 1, you got the wife beater. Tier 2, you become old, you got the fancy clothes, more visual than practical. And then over on the right, you get younger and you have some leather, it looks like. A little close-up of the helmet. Now, I might be sarcastic when talking about all this, and mainly because this is all a work in progress, all right? Judge it on how good it looks, because it can always improve, all right? Let's see. So again, I am a sucker for character creation up until I find shit like this, and I just cover the guy I just spent an hour designing. Here's a nice little full set, okay? This guy's rich as fuck. He's been forcefully borrowing land, however he made his money. And then next is going to be a close-up of a helmet. Again, it looks good, and I like the tattered look. It doesn't have a pristine, you never take any damage kind of look. It's been worn a little bit, and we're going to have a little spin here. Here it is. We have a spin with the shoulder pasties. It looks good. I'm really excited, man. Goodness gracious. I am a sucker for medieval games, and that's the same suit, but it shows modular customization from what I see. You can design it on your colors, what you want it to look like, something that is fucking awesome and that I am really excited for. Here's his helmet. Boop. Right off his head. Look at that. Let's look at some horse. Okay. We got some horse armor. Again, we're going to have a close-up here without the guy. And this is another set, but it looks more pristine. Kind of has some pop. Again, I'm excited. You know, the attention to detail when it comes to the armor, phenomenal. Style is one thing, but what about the weapons? You want to cause destruction? Let's look at this. All right. So right now they've been showcasing a lot of the polearm style. I haven't seen a ton of sword and shields yet, but polearms, they're looking pretty damn cool. Look at that. You have a wide variety of different pokey things, from typical spears, tridents, curved swords. I mean, you name it. You know, if it's pointy or curved, you put it on a stick, it's a weapon. Like, it's looking pretty cool. A lot of diverse forms of weapons, and this is one of the only sword and shield kind of photos, so it makes me think it's going to be more traditional when it comes to how medieval knights fought. And this right here, modular customized weapons. Oh yes, this is something that is extremely exciting for me. It kind of takes the ability to really get personal with your designs, and oh my gosh, it looks great. If they have a wide variety customization, this is going to be phenomenal. Now we're going to go over some of the scenery. They've talked about having day-night cycles. That goes from perfectly beautiful to kind of burnt and torn down. And I'm really excited to see how they handle the seasonal changes. You know, so this is a day view of the little marketplace. This is a night view. Looking great. A lot of detail. It'd be pretty cool to walk around there and kind of have that third-person view. Actually have some life going on within the towns, which is something we're not too used to when it comes to these styles. Again, little storefront. That could be anything you want it to be, I guess. Little concept art of the walls and ramparts. And here's a nice video, kind of taking that concept into some reality. Now, something I'm excited about that I hope is in here is destructibility. Like, you look at games like, what is it, Chivalry, Bannerlord, things like that. The destruction is pretty linear. You can only destroy a certain part, and it's not, you know, it's not something you freely choose. You know, you're not launching catapults, taking out different areas. That would be cool to see in this game. Definitely cool to see. So we're checking out the Steam page. I'm not going to watch these two videos. Alright, I'll let you guys come and watch those yourself. Let's look at these screenshots. I don't know if they've added anything new to the Steam page when it comes to screenshots, but let's look at this. So you have a little charge. These guys on the top, they've all got some nice shit, okay? Walking through the town. It'll be nice to actually have a game like this that brings life into a town instead of having NPCs just lounge around, stagnant. You know, it just feels like empty towns. This looks pretty cool. Looks like there's actually going to be some movement in there. See, you got map planning, some nice little scenery. This is cool. I don't know if these are two main characters or if they're just two rich nobles fighting. Who knows? All right. And we're back to the beginning. Okay. So what we're going to do, so this is the Steam page. It'll be in the description. Okay. Let's go ahead and check out the Q&A section in their Discord. Alrighty, we are here. Now, some of these photos may look familiar because this is where I got them from, alright? So let's just hit these quick. Open world. Game feature is an open world map explored by top-down perspective. We call this exploration mode. In my mind, I'm thinking Bannerlord. You know, you're traveling the map. It's like you're in the sky like you're a goddamn eagle trying to navigate. So they have 3 layers: unexplored, areas you never visited, they're completely hidden. Alright, nice little fog of war, can't see everything, I like it. Layer 2, explored but outdated. This is interesting, alright? You've been there before, but the information is outdated. Some of it might still hold true, the world may have moved on. Returning could reveal new threats or opportunities. Knowledge is key, and I just stuttered. That's interesting. Actually having a map that is living, that can change, that can progress, degress. You know, the city might be super peaceful, pacifistville, and then you go there and it's all bandits. quite interesting. I'm really excited to see that in play. And then Layer 3, current scouting, regions within your party's line of sight. Alright. And switching between different camera views while playing. Combines top-down and third-person. Top-down is viewed when traveling, i.e. the little eagle vision, and then third-person is during activities such as battles, exploring cities, missions. You cannot freely toggle as few changes contextually. So I'm thinking again, I'm mentioning it again, Bannerlord. You click the town you want to enter, you enter the town third-person. Kind of the same mindset I'm thinking of, hopefully. Don't take my word for this. Again, these are their answers, and I'm just interpreting them the best I can. Alright? Defined storyline. So no defined storyline, but you select historical chapters, e.g. the 100 Years of War, with dynamic world events related to the chapter you've chosen. So this is pretty cool. Replayability, I still think it's going to be there because, again, it's a sandbox. You can either choose to assist, choose to be the bad guy, good guy, or just choose to not fucking do anything, you know? If you just want to walk around roaming like a little pilgrim, you probably could do that. You know, I'm not sure if it forces you to partake or if you just live in that area, in that era. Well, the story unfolds across multiple eras, so you select chapters. Each playthrough occurs with a single chapter lasting up to 35 in-game years. Time passes, characters age, and when you retire, you'll receive a summary of your journey. Interesting. So the character progression, level up, use skill-based, which is a fancy way of saying swing swords, get better at swords. Okay, it applies to the bows and everything like that. But you earn perk points to fine-tune your character's build and playstyle. We've seen that before, which done well, it's a great feature. Can you become a priest? Forgive me, Father, I've sinned. You cannot become a priest, but religion is thematically present, but not playable. Okay. Play as a bandit. Sandbox, so you're free to play your own way. Want to be a bandit? Go for it. Knight, mercenary, captain. Great. So in battles, blend strategic planning with third-person action. You'll set your tactics before the battle, like initial orders or placements, and then dive into the fight heads-on, issuing commands as chaos unfolds around you. It's best, and it's all about capturing the heat of the battle. We've seen that kind of style before. It's great, feels good, plays good. How will the battles look and feel like? At the launch, the battles will unfold across 3 immersive layers: General, Captain, and Combat. General is pre-combat stage, reset strategy, deploy troops. Once the clash kicks off, you'll drop into the Captain layer, third-person perspective, real-time orders, and up close, the Combat layer, engaging directly into the thick of action. You can switch between Captain and Combat on the go. It's designed to be fast, fluid, and intuitive. So again, we've seen this in games that are somewhat similar. It's fun if it does well. It's immersive, issuing commands on the go. Love it. It's one of my favorite features of games that are similar to this. Combat's super important. We'll share that soon. So hopefully we can get down a little bit more. Get some info. How many weapons? Lots of weapons. Wide arsenal, capping the full scope of medieval warfare. Co-op play. Absolutely for early access. There will be co-op and custom battles. Historical events. Yes. Historical periods. Chronicle Medieval is still in active development. They will focus on 14th and 15th century, Black Plague, 100-Year War. More chapters will be added post-early access. Religion and politics. Politics and dynamics, integral part. When it comes to religion, great to see. You can rule a kingdom. How deep is the simulation? Economic, social, diplomatic, and world simulation. That's great. So I'm going to just kind of go over these bullet point wise. I don't want to add too much of my own opinions because I might take things out of context. So just try to imagine these yourself as I go through this. And also, if I'm going over these fast, if you're not hearing them, if it's confusing, go to the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, go to the Discord. You know, Chronicles Medieval, it'll be in the description. Everything you could ever ask will be in here. Well, not everything. You get the point. How much does the game feel like a living world? Philosophy is rooted in emergent systems. It's great to hear. More gameplay. Just wait. With a nice little GIF. All right. They're very hip and involved. So we saw this, talking about the castles and the development. A lot of these I've taken. In fact, all of these I've taken and put them in the front of the video. Got some swords clashing. I'm gonna be honest. Being a sound designer, it's probably pretty cool. You know, we need two swords. You know, we need swords. You know, what are they gonna sound like? This guy pulls out a fucking giant soup spoon, and what even is that? I don't know, a fancy fork. He's like, there you go. You got swords. Again, we've seen all these. I didn't take this photo, but you can go ahead and look at it. Very immersive, looks beautiful. Okay. We already saw that video. Walking in grass. Great. All these. The helmet, we need a Commander Shepard, a recognizable face in the campaign, but we decided to take a different path in Mass Effect. After all, Chronicles Medieval is an immersive, player-driven experience. Our protagonist isn't a fixed hero, he's an empty vessel. Fun fact, you might have noticed the small cross on the holes near the bottom of the helmet. They're actually at a practical use. When knights were in combat, they could use the holes of the helmet in their armor via a chain. Alright, so there's all this cool stuff. And they have a whole bunch of videos and things like that. That's pretty much all of it. If you want to go through some of these, like there's the videos right here. I believe some of these are on the Steam page, some of them in the Discord. I'd highly recommend joining this. They're pretty up to date with stuff. They have announcements, fun little videos. Again, a lot of stuff that I didn't cover is in here. Customizable buildings within the settlements. I mean, there's quite a bit of things that I didn't cover, okay? So please, I encourage you to go get some of the information yourself. I just wanted to update my little community, and mainly because the reaction video was one of the most viewed videos on my channel, and it literally took no effort. I just clicked play and talked, all right? So I wanted to just cover that again, mainly because I'm striking when the anvil's hot on that popular video, and also I felt like I wanted to put more effort into a video than just sitting there and giving useless commentary. All right, so hopefully this was interesting. Again, check out the Discord, Steam page, it'll all be in the description. Chronicles Medieval, loving it, so excited. Early access this year. Well, in a few days it'll be this year. All right, thank you.